Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at another Kiwiinbacon creation. This time we're looking at their Valuemental Elemental Shaman. Elemental Shaman has kind of been, it's been a thing for a long time, since Un'Goro, since they started adding a lot of the elemental synergies. Unfortunately, it's never really been the thing to do. It's always been outclassed in some way, or shape, or form, or it hasn't had the support to really be a deck. You know, we've seen either aggressive shamans being a thing with Totem Golem and Tunnel Trog, or you know, now we see it's more about the Shutterwalk for that late game potential, or other variants of the deck. So it's always been a deck that's out there, a deck that you could play, and a fun deck to play as well. The elemental synergies are really fun to play with, and they have some huge payoff cards like Calamos and Blazecaller. But in the Shaman shell, never really been a top tier competitor. What Kiwi has done here is they've gone for the full value game plan, which I can definitely respect. Playing a lot of kind of a smaller minions, some very anemic minions in the early game, but playing a huge, thick, chunky, muscular late game, which I really like, and we'll get to see that in action hopefully. So we'll go through the cards in the deck. On the 1-drops we've got 2 Fireflies, 1 Glacial Shard. The 1 Glacial Shard's a bit curious, but I think in this type of deck, especially when we're relying on those late game cards, we're going to have to make some sacrifices, and I guess Glacial Shard was first on the chopping block. In the 2-drop slot, Earthen Might, a great way for us to in the early game, you know, turn one of these Fireflies into a beast, just being able to trade in, particularly against Odd Paladin. That's one of our best early game plays. We can really start trading with something once every turn. We've also got Elementary Reaction here. This is more of the value kind of card. It's going to be turned on most turns because we have so many elementals in the deck. We draw a card and you copy that card if you played an elemental last turn. So it could allow us to get, you know, 2 Calamoses, 2 Alakirs, stuff like that. Pretty strong card. Next we've got the anemic kind of 2-drops that I mentioned. We've got 2 Fireplume Harbingers, reduce the cost of all the elementals in our hand by 1. 2 Menacing Nimbuses, which give us more elementals, and 2 Murmuring Elementals, which copy our next battle cry. So as you can see, all these minions 1/1, 2/2, 1/1, they're not going to be able to trade very well. We're really just relying on them for their battle cries there. You know, Murmuring Elemental on a Fireplume Harbinger on turn 4 could be absolutely huge because, you know, we are drawing a lot of cards. A lot of these cards are replacing themselves with elementals. So we could be getting huge tempo gains from this Fireplume Harbinger, but we also lose a lot of tempo the turn that we play it because it is such a non-threat on the board. Moving on to the 3-drops, Mana Tide Totem, keep that hand nice and stocked. Tar Creeper to help protect those anemic 1-drops, maybe allow us to do some trading. We've got Fireplume Phoenix in here, which helps us get onto the board as well. Really kind of minimal kind of 3, 4, 5-drop slots here. We're really trying to be very piecemeal about things. Got Servant of Calamos, once again, is even better because it lets us discover an elemental, so hopefully we can discover more Calamoses, as this is one of the few ways we have to heal up in the deck. Onto the 6s, Fire Elemental, once again, just like Fireplume Phoenix, lets us get onto the board immediately the turn we play it, hopefully prevent ourselves from dying. Grumble in here. Grumble's going to be real interesting if our opponent doesn't do anything about our board, lets us build up. Then Grumble can be an absolute haymaker. Not only is it a huge body, but if we're returning things like the Fireplume Harbingers, if we're returning things like Fire Elemental, Servant of Calamos, even Fireplume Phoenix, all these other huge things, getting to play them again later, and especially in a more granular fashion because they cost less, huge, absolutely huge. Blazecaller we talked about before. Stone Sentinel is an interesting one, just the one of here. This card is an absolute house against those aggressive decks. If we do manage to land it, it's a card that can really help you turn the corner. So I can appreciate the one-of in here, the one-of Stone Sentinel, but I can also appreciate maybe wanting to cut this for some more early game action to make sure we don't die to those aggro decks. And lastly, we've got the big boom booms here. We've got Alakir, we've got Hagatha and we've got Calamos. Calamos in particular, like we said before, it's a board clear, it's some extra reach, it's some healing. So we'll probably lean on Calamos for that flexibility to try and close the game out, as well as Hagatha, as the deck's name kind of says, it is value mental. It is all about that value. So the main things that we're going to be keeping an eye out for as we play this deck are the suspicious lack of spells. It's all elementals except for a couple of things. And I really think a deck like this could benefit from including a Lightning Storm or two, a Healing Rain or two, even allows you to put Electra in the deck as well. We could also be experimenting with cards like Farsight, especially since we have such a thick late game. Getting a Farsight on a Blaze Caller or something like that can really allow you to get on the front foot in the matchup. Other than that, I think most of the other card choices I totally agree with, but yeah, we'll see if having Lightning Storms or something like that in the deck could possibly help us after we play a couple of games. So big shout out to Kiwiinbacon. Check all their content out on YouTube and Twitch. Fantastic content creator. Love it whenever they put a deck like this up. So let's try and do them justice and kill some nerds. Alright, let's do it. Okay. Here against the Hunter. Definitely going to send back these boys. Keep this Fireplume Harbinger. We really want to make sure that we have stuff to play in the early game. Double Fireplume Harbinger. So we definitely need to make a decision with these based off of what our opponent's playing. If they're playing a deck that is likely to give us time in order to get more value off of these, we definitely want to go for that. Lyra's a interesting draw. Obviously no spells in the deck. Plated Beetle. So this screams more of a Death Rattle Hunter type thing. It's Mana Tide out.
Take shelter.
See what they want to do about the Mana Tide. Yeah. Usually Plated Beetle screams more cube, Death Rattle Hunter type stuff. Yeah, especially with Stitch Tracker. Opponent not trying to play a fair game here.
Take shelter.
I think if we can just kind of... I think we have the better late game. Hagatha vs Rexar is an interesting thing, but they could also be on big Death Rattle Hunter. And we're gonna... Ooh. Crackling Razormaw in the deck. Maybe this is just mid-range, but without the... Maybe this is more mid-range? But it's just got the Plated Beetles in the deck.
Brothers, heed my call.
Ooh. Okay. So Grumble has some potential, especially with these Fireplume Harbingers.
I wonder.
But Calamos could just be the right call to hedge against whatever our opponent's doing. It's a real curious decision. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know what you think in the comments right now. Right now! Gonna go with Calamos here. Gonna be conservative. Conservative with my choice. Still unsure of what our opponent's doing. Calamos particularly good against the Spellstone if that's what our opponent is doing, but they haven't Haven't found it. Kill command, going for the... Okay, that screams a little bit of desperation, so... We'll try and slow these bad boys down.
Calamos rises.
Should have played this Earthen Might first if we wanted to.
Nice to meet you.
Nice, taunt totems. Pretty good here. ECW Tast Calamos for sure, you reckon? I think I agree. Ooh. Big Rexel. I think I'm going to go for Alakir here. We'll try and use Calamos for a heal.
Calamos rises. Obey my command.
Nice. Happy to have another taunt totem. Now the question is, do they have flanking strike? Flanking strike very good here. Gets rid of our Alakir, but if they don't, we do have the grumble to reset it.
My pack will hunt
Sure.
you down.
Sure, and plated a beetle to trade, but it means they're not using their hero power this turn. But Sure is a threat. He sure is.
Behold the glory of a new sun. You will kneel.
I couldn't kill there, but I don't think we're particularly concerned with the Shore, even giving things rush. They're mostly just going to trade in here. Unless it's something like a Sea Giant, which it could be. Could be that that giant hunter list that was going around. No Gemini in chat. It's been really hot on Sea Giant in Hunter. In fact, it is, because we have this Sea Giant in our hand that with my Mind Vision. So this guy gets to trade in. Was he created by Stitch Tracker? Oh, that's a pretty good draw. Take out the Houndmaster Shore. I think we might be in the position where we have stabilized enough that we can Calamos next turn for the heal. Feel real good about it. Can even double heal if we pick up a Murmuring Elemental. Lifesteal Rush. Wind Fury. Hunter's Mark trade. Okay. Maybe we just go Calamos Grumble.
By the elements combined.
I like this. We're sitting pretty. I'm 29. Would love to find our Hagatha sooner rather than later, so we can actually start getting on the front foot. Might go for this free from Amber soon. There's the second Hunter's Mark. What did they get off there? Hero power. Just +1/+1 Snow Flipper Penguin. Tracking last.
The calm before the storm.
Job's done.
Okay. Now, do they have another Crackling Razormaw in their deck? I know they discovered one off the Stitch Tracker, and they played one. But a Razormaw into Wind Fury could actually be pretty dangerous for us. Kind of setting up here to make things difficult for our opponent with the Zombeast in play. But we have kind of reduced our Hagatha potential a bit. We've got the Astral Rift, you know, got free from Ember. We've got some things to do. Also possible we should have kept one of these Flame Elementals as a way to make sure we can keep our Elemental train going. They've used both, you think? Okay. I trust you. Going for the trade there, of course. Don't want to take too much damage. Ironfoot Grizzly Hunt. Hungry Crab. Alright, we'll definitely go for the Calamos board clear this turn. But let's see what we get with Free from Ember first. Gruul. I think we'll take Gruul. I think this guy's gonna be a bit too much for our opponent to deal with. Yeah, they have played both of their Hunter's Mark, which makes dealing with a huge body quite difficult, whereas they still have like a kill command left in their deck, so Alakir might actually be difficult. This puts two big threats on the board as well. Also got the Stone Sentinel potentially coming down next turn. No! Oh well. Oh my gosh. Good rip. Good rip. Now we just have the 7/7. No need to try and Murmuring Elemental these. The Rock Elemental. 2/3. Rock. Big old 3/7. Well, there's the last Razormaw. So they did discover one off of the Stitch Tracker.
Job's done.
Frothing Berserk would have been pretty good. Probably should have done that first, but I think we're in a good enough position. That we're getting lackadaisical. Could be our downfall here. We've got the old classic Murmuring Elemental Pogo Hopper combo. GG to our opponent. Bit hard to see what they were going for. I have to check out a couple more of these giant hunter decks, see if all of them are playing the plated beetle. But GG. Okay, up against the priest. Pretty dangerous if our opponent is on a Mechathune priest. We'll keep the Fireflame Harbinger and the elemental reaction. Obviously, it's not great because this means we have one less elemental in our hand to go for this, and this having this in hand encourages us to want to go for this early. But hopefully, we pick up a Firefly, a Glacial Shard. Oh, Firefly every time. But yes, I think a deck like ours is going to be pretty hard pressed to beat a Mechathune priest list. I think they might be a bit too fast for us, especially if they get Hemet. I don't think our deck can really put on a lot of pressure. We don't have the potential for a card like Bloodlust or something like that. Though honestly, these Earthen Mites, pretty tempting to just kind of go ham on the Firefly here. This turn we can go for the other Earthen Mite and then a Fireflame Harbinger. Not the greatest elemental.
You are not welcome here.
Scalebane. Spiteful. Spiteful priest.
Flames consume you.
Spiteful priest with possibly the worst draw I've seen.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
Okay.
Big! Oh, a shadow.
Interesting. We got done by one mind control deck, so let's not get done by the second one. Also, might try and save some of these for our Hagatha. Maybe just try and go for the Servant of Calamos next turn. Maybe the Mana Tide.
Let me change your mind.
Oof. Okay. I'm still not sure if this is. It's looking more like Mind Blast now. Maybe we just go face and try and kill him with the Calamos.
Brothers,
We can discover like a Blaze Caller here. No. So our opponent's got to do something. This Calamos can come down and dome for 6. So they're on effective 2. Dustbreaker does okay. Allows them to get the trades in here. Now I think we'll go for Hagatha here.
Dark spirits twist the trees, foul the lake, and
We'll just concede the fact that our opponent
Pinch of death
It is spiteful, there we go. It's like, is this Mind Blast with like the worst possible draw? Hey! Al-Akir.
The calm before the storm.
Lyra. You don't say.
Behold the glory
Of a true son.
Nice to meet you.
Perplexing. I must decide.
Cloning gallery? Oh jeez. So we are gonna burn a card. Matt Karma, what is up? What is going on? Ooh, mind control on the... Okay. What can we do about that? Might not be a lot we can do about that. No, we can go for Al-Akir and put a Rockbiter weapon on it. Very bad if our opponent has the other mind control. Only need 12 for lethal. So the frozen waves.
Calamus rises.
The calm before the storm.
I must decide. Someone called for the
Yeah, might have a dragon if we use another cloning gallery. True. Okay. They also may have the other mind control in hand. Just have to keep it in mind.
shopping now.
It's not a good one. I get another Lich King card as well. Grumble. Grumble could be pretty good, but I think we want to go for the Calamus here.
By the elements combined!
What did we have lethal there if we went for 6? Did we have 5, 2, 4, 5? No, we only had 3. 3 damage. We can't Pyros either. We may as well do this. We lose the Pyros, which sucks, but we can get it back with the Twilight Spell. When's Bloodlust? No Bloodlust in this deck. I totally goofed that we had the 2 mana crystals locked. Let's see. They got it.
Out of my jungle.
I wonder what it is. Oh, we get to grumble this. Ugh, that sucks. That really sucks.
Power is mine.
See if we can get him with the, like a combo finish where we get to attack and then grumble.
The power is mine. The power is mine.
Ah, but these totems.
Power is mine.
Why is this so difficult? I guess that's fine. Is there a way that we can sequence it where we could have sequenced it where we get to grumble off and return our Calamos? Okay, I'm about to buy some packs and gather some dust packs. What would be the best to buy? Probably Witchwood. I think Witchwood has the best. Well, Witchwood or Classic. Classic, your money is always going to be good because of. Can we kill him now? And we don't get to get our Calamos back. Oh, we can, right? We avalanche, hit them with that. I think we need to not focus on this grumble, and we just need to kill our opponent. I think that's all we get. Yeah, I think classic packs are good because they're always going to be around. If you're really invested in standard, I think Witchwood, because of you know, you've got Baku, Gen, a lot of good neutrals.
Done.
I think we're just kind of doing stuff. I've definitely lost track of this game. Like, I think if we had thought about it a bit more, we should have gone for the avalanche first. Oh, they got the grumble. Interesting.
Wake once more. Out of my jungle!
A path dimly lit.
Stone never yields.
Hand is too full.
Classical, one of the latest 2 sets for max value in use. Yep, I totally agree. I wouldn't go for any of last year's card sets, no matter how much you might want a Keleseth or something like that. I think if you really want those cards, you should definitely go for it. You should just use Dust. Oh my gosh, is there a taunt? There is a Tar Creeper in there. Did they get it?
The calm before the storm.
Hooray!
You have better.
Woo! Obviously, we could have played that game a lot better. I'm sure there are plenty of people on YouTube currently smashing their keyboard. They've just crumpled it up. But hey, sometimes games get sketchy. Sometimes they get a little bit scrappy. And I think that's the mark of a really good player, is to know what to do when games do get scrappy. And, you know, we're not there yet, but hopefully we'll get there. And hopefully you'll get there too and be a master player at some point. But for now, let's get that next game. Okay, up here against the Warrior. I think we will definitely... I think Elemental Reaction is actually going to be pretty good against Warrior because they're going to give us a lot of time. But I feel like if we keep this Elemental Reaction and if we mulligan into 2 other, you know, 6 or 5 drops or something, it's just not going to be great. And we really want to try and get on the board early and develop some momentum. And a card like Mana Tide Totem is probably going to be a lot better than Elementary Reaction, just in this matchup, if we suspect our opponent's on Control Warrior or Odd Warrior. Not a great draw. I think we'll save this. Maybe? Maybe? No, let's get out there. Trying to think if there's any... I mean, we get punished if we draw Elementary Reaction. That's kind of my concern, is the Roverino. Sit here. We won't put any damage on them because of Battle Rage. They could be playing that Infinite Armor deck, or just an aggressive warrior deck, one that includes Frothing Berserker. Okay, Creeper's okay. Especially if we can put any amount of damage on this Frothing Berserker to help we get taken down by the Fireplume Phoenix.
My blade be thirsty.
His blade is thirsty.
Astonishing.
So, obviously dealing damage is a bit rough, but getting this below 4 health, making them trade 1 in, I think we should be happy with that. Hopefully this isn't like a militia commander. Okay, we are in for a hurtin'.
Brothers, heed my call.
Yes. Alright. Fire Elemental may come down to save the day, but not before we take a chunk of damage. This Frothing Berserker is definitely going to take a bite out of us. Dollmaster Dorian. Interesting. Interesting. My girlfriend just opened 2 golden legends on my account. Nice! What'd you get? Was that the Splinter Graft that I saw?
Astonishing.
Well, let's see if they,
I dream and the
What?
world trembles.
Look! Look!
Ah, jeez.
I would chance tear later. Rush the enemy.
Alright. Alright, opponent. That was pretty sick. He has rush, friend. Very funny.
What to do?
Do we kill the Dollmaster or do we kill the Ysera?
Astonishing. Astonishing. Flames consume you.
I mean, I didn't think the deck that went turn 1 Eternium over into double Frothing Berserker would also be the deck that plays Dollmaster Dorian and Ysera Master Oakheart. Like, oh. That was pretty sick, though.
Is there trouble?
By the elements combined.
Open Dollmaster day 1, still haven't gotten around to trying him. Well, if you need a deck, there you go, I guess. Dollmaster Warrior. It's pretty good. Oh, stop going wide. Nightmare. That's pretty good. What can save us? Alakir the Windlord. Either of those cards could definitely have done it. Taunt Totem doesn't save us.
I wonder.
We need to hit like a Tar Creeper or something off of that.
Cosmos rises.
Yeah, wow. Interesting deck from our opponent. Let's see how they want to BM us. Boom ship. Now it all kind of makes sense. I don't think I've seen Dollmaster Dorian in Boom ship before. I don't remember seeing a lot of frothing berserkers in Boom ship, but I think that just goes to show you that there are definitely some, like, you can definitely get a lot of value out of making your opponent second guess what they're doing, what you're doing. So GG's to our opponent. Interesting deck, really cool deck. Final boss crushes our dreams of a 3-0. But we'll take a look at the deck. Honestly, you know, I think you definitely would have heard me say that you kind of had our doubts about this deck because, you know, not having Lightning Storm or Healing Rain in the deck is a bit risky, especially against a lot of these aggressive decks. And I always like having, in a deck that wants to go late game, always like having a little bit of healing, always like having a bit of AoE, but it did seem like we didn't necessarily need it. Obviously, we need to play some more games to get a proper idea of how things go, but we did lean on Calamos quite a lot. What else to say? The Stone Sentinels were good. I think it's just, yeah, experimenting with that early game, seeing what else we need, and I think we could possibly consider cutting some of the late game here, or trying to find a different form of late game. Maybe something where we can be a bit more defensive, and not have to lean on Calamos so much. But fantastic deck, courtesy of Kiwiinbacon, of course. Jump over on YouTube, on Twitch, go check them out. Fantastic content creator. They're always chucking sweet decks up on Hearthstone. Speaking of which, if you are watching on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone deck article. The deck code is down there as well. So if you've got a bunch of these pieces, you want to play the deck, copy that code, chuck it in Hearthstone. You'll be playing it in no time. You'll be hopefully getting some wins on the ladder, just like we were. If you want to get in contact with me, the best place to do that is on Twitter at Tommy_Wave. You can do that also on YouTube, on Hearthstone, wherever. I might see it, probably. I read all the YouTube comments, so leave a lovely, thoughtful comment on YouTube. Leave a lovely, thoughtful comment on Hearthstone, as I know you will. But until next time, stay safe, stay wavy, and, I don't know, play some elementals. React with them. Learn to love. Bye.